Greetings, Georgia cities. I'm Larry Hanson, the Executive Director of the Georgia Municipal Association. Broadband access remains an important issue for all cities, but it's especially critical for rural communities. There are nearly 500,000 Georgians who lack access to high-speed service and over 250,000 who don't have internet access at all. Not surprisingly, most of these citizens live in rural communities. That means children in these areas are challenged to go online for remote learning, homework, or study. Common services that most of us are used to, from digital phone lines to video streaming platforms, are often unavailable. With rural healthcare challenges, telemedicine is a critical lifeline which also requires high-quality broadband service. Cities and local service providers also rely on accessible, available, and robust broadband services for a variety of services from education to healthcare, and most all businesses today rely on broadband to survive and thrive. Unfortunately, the answers for how to improve the situation are not always easy to find. That's why GMA created this video to help city leaders connect with organizations to bridge the digital divide and work together to provide fast, reliable, and low-cost internet service to their residents.
Broadband is essential to business, education, healthcare, agriculture, and overall quality of life for all Georgians. Unfortunately, high-speed internet access remains out of reach for many communities, and the digital divide has become even more apparent during the COVID-19 pandemic. Broadband Now finds that only 57.4% of Georgians have access to low-price wired broadband plans defined as costing $60 a month or less. The Federal Communications Commission defines high-speed internet access as 25 megabytes per second download speeds and 3 megabytes per second upload speeds. However, the meaning of fast and reliable really varies by use. If one of your priorities as a city leader is to address broadband needs in your community, you may be wondering where to begin. Fortunately, there are technical assistance and financial resources available through the state and federal government. These resources are designed to facilitate planning and infrastructure investment and to help you create a roadmap for success in addressing your community's unique needs. State agencies play a key role in technology leadership in Georgia. The Georgia Technology Authority, or GTA, manages the delivery of IT infrastructure services to executive branch agencies and managed network services to more than 1,200 state and local government entities. GTA establishes statewide IT policies, standards, and guidelines based on industry best practices and federal requirements, along with managing the state's portfolio of technology projects. To further expand the state's broadband strategy, GTA is working with many state agency partners, including the Department of Community Affairs, the Department of Transportation, the Department of Economic Development, the Department of Education, and the State Properties Commission. The first of its kind statewide broadband availability map was developed by GTA in partnership with the Department of Community Affairs and the Carl Vinson Institute of Government. The map reveals that as of October 2021, 9.1% of locations in Georgia still did not have access to broadband. This amounts to 482,374 unserved locations, 75% of which are in rural Georgia. The program also identified more than 135,000 student households that lacked internet access during the pandemic, and most of these students live in rural parts of the state. Even when internet service is available, it may not be affordable to families. Reliable high-speed internet has become a necessity. Now that we have detailed location-level data to illustrate the digital divide in Georgia, we can better target investments to improve the quality of life for all Georgians. You can find out more about the Georgia Technology Authority and how it can help your city at gta.georgia.gov. Cities can also apply for designation as a broadband-ready community to demonstrate that they have taken steps to reduce obstacles to broadband infrastructure investment. With this designation, the Department of Economic Development will promote the city's facilities and developments as local community assets, which can attract providers to expand services to the area. It also signals to state and federal legislators how committed the city is to meaningful broadband development. A local government that has amended its comprehensive plan to include a broadband element and has adopted a model ordinance is eligible to apply for a broadband-ready community designation. To date, 4 cities, Woodbury, Claxton, Hiawassee, and Fitzgerald, have received this designation out of 17 total Georgia communities. You can find more information about the Broadband Ready Community designation at broadband.georgia.gov. Federal agencies also play a critical role in connecting residents to much-needed technical assistance and funding, and ultimately to high-speed internet, which has become a staple in our everyday lives. One of the most important steps in addressing local broadband needs is developing a plan of action, which needs to answer several questions. Who will provide the service? What platform will be used? What infrastructure is needed, and how will it be paid for? How can we ensure affordability for residents and businesses? Broadband is a regional issue, and it's critical to have all the stakeholders at the table. Housed within the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, or NTIA, Broadband USA offers broadband planning and digital inclusion resources, hosts local and regional planning workshops, promotes interagency coordination, and provides grant funding, along with a host of technical assistance resources to help communities start their needs assessments. You can find these tools and more at broadbandusa.ntia.doc.gov. There's no better time to access federal funds for infrastructure than right now. An unprecedented amount of money has been dedicated to address the nation's broadband needs, including the state and local fiscal recovery funds through the American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA. To maximize and leverage both state and local funds, city leaders should consider all available agency funding in planning broadband deployment. From the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, the Reconnect program is designed to bring internet service to traditionally hard-to-reach parts of rural America. This is done through grants, loans, or grant and loan combinations directed at those in unserved or severely underserved regions. In August 2021, the USDA put an additional $167 million in the agency's Reconnect program. To date, Georgia has had 5 successful applicants to this program, totaling over $23 million to connect more than 6,500 locations. Reconnect grants and loans can be used to fund the construction or improvement of facilities, including buildings and land, required to provide fixed terrestrial broadband service, reasonable pre-application expenses, and the acquisition and upgrade of an existing system that is not currently providing sufficient access to broadband service. To learn about upcoming training opportunities and for information about how to apply for funding, visit the Reconnect site at usda.gov/reconnect. Other USDA programs cities might find helpful are available through the Rural Utilities Service. These include Community Connect grants, Distance Learning and Telemedicine grants, Rural Broadband Access Loan and Loan Guarantees, and Telecommunications Infrastructure Loans and Guarantees. You can find out more about the programs the USDA offers at rd.usda.gov. As the only federal agency focused exclusively on economic development, the U.S. Department of Commerce's Economic Development Administration, or EDA, is an important resource for facilitating regional development efforts in communities nationwide. The EDA provides financial assistance that encourages innovation and entrepreneurship that caters to communities. Through its network of regionally based staff and its portfolio of flexible grant tools, the EDA helps economically distressed communities position themselves for prosperity and resiliency. The EDA also leads the integration of economic development resources from all sources, federal, state, local, and philanthropic, to improve outcomes for communities across America. The EDA has significant funding available for communities to accelerate economic recovery from the coronavirus pandemic and build resiliency to future economic shocks. Contact the EDA's regional office to learn more about possible options for your community, including the suite of programs as part of ARPA. Visit the EDA's website at eda.gov/ARPA for funding opportunities, resources, and more. Fortunately, there are additional ARPA and federal infrastructure funds available for cities. The U.S. Treasury announced the Coronavirus Capital Projects Fund, designed to directly enable work education and health monitoring, including remote options. The guidance strongly encourages but does not require states to invest in high-quality broadband infrastructure as well as other connectivity infrastructure, devices, and equipment. State governments can target specific communities in need and may opt to subgrant funding to local governments. Visit the Treasury's website at home.treasury.gov to learn more. Reach out to your members of Congress today to inform them of your community's broadband needs. Engage them in stakeholder meetings and find out how the federal government can help your community in the long term.
We at GMA Hope you found the material presented here useful. Please note that information for each of the organizations and services covered is available in the description section of this video. This includes hyperlinks and contact details for specific employees with each organization who can answer your questions and help you find solutions for the broadband challenges your community is facing. Of course, if you need anything else, we are here to assist you, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us directly or visit www.gacities.com. Thank you for your service to your city. We look forward to supporting you in this most critical area so that your city and its businesses and residents can reach their full potential in the coming years.